Hello ladies and gentlemen, I wish to indulge you in an interesting topic. I realize that most of my countrymen and most of our parents and most of the people that I know are actually asset rich but are cash flow poor. What does it mean? It means that they have invested, or you have invested in assets that cannot generate monthly cash flow, every single month generating a cash flow, but they are gaining maybe capital gains but a lot more without having any actual cash received from the person who owns these assets. So what is the problem with that? It is because if you are entering into retirement and want to be able to get an income, the most important thing is to be able to get some cash flow. No matter how many pieces of land you own, no matter how many cars you own, no matter how much in terms of forest you have, without cash flow, then you are a bit tight, because you will need cash to be able to pay for food. You need cash to be able to pay for expenses such as transport expenses and medical expenses and school fees and things like that. And so cash flow becomes important, and you could be asset rich, having a lot of assets, but you do not have the cash flow. And here are what things that will affect you. You might end up liquidating your assets at throwaway prices to be able to get some cash to be able to meet an urgent requirement. So you might find that you are losing value a lot faster because you are forced by circumstances to liquidate an asset to meet a recurrent expenditure. That is a challenge. But of course, you can also be able to improve on this, especially if you have not gotten to a point where you're entering into retirement. How do you go about it? The first thing you need to do is be able to invest in a balanced portfolio. Invest in a portfolio that allows you to also generate cash flow in addition to the capital gains, because capital gains will always be a balance sheet figure, but cash flow will be a physical figure of received income that you can actually use. So when you have land, additionally invest in maybe rental property on the land, maybe build properties to be able to earn rental income. Maybe you could invest in a money market fund to be able to get the monthly interest income. You could invest in a government bond in addition to your investment in land, so that you can be able to generate the interest that you are going to get from this money government bond. You could invest in many other ways like shares and be able to get dividend income in addition to the fixed assets. I know that sometimes there's always the feeling of security when everything that you can invest is something you can touch, as opposed to maybe a share, as opposed to maybe a government bond that may not be physically as tangible as land. But think about cash flow, because you do not want to have no cash flow and a lot of assets and end up getting into a fix when you actually require money. And that is usually the biggest challenge with retirement in Kenya. You might ask a retiree, so how do you plan to finance yourself during retirement? And they would say something like, I have many pieces of land, I have this and this property, and I have this and this. And majority of the investment is sometimes in a personal home. And I have done a video on why you should not invest in a big house and how it is a big financial problem. And I will set a video so that you can be able to follow it. This is because a personal home may have a lot of value, but may not give you the actual cash flow, and may take a little bit more money from yourself to maintain it and to put it into the correct operational order. And that is why I desire that you invest in a smaller house and be able to get the extra amount of money to invest in interest or rent generating investments. Because at the end of the day, cash is king, and you need this cash to be able to finance your recurrent expenditure. When you are entering into retirement, you need to ask yourself, what is my replacement income? If I was earning say 100,000 Kenya shillings, what is my replacement money in retirement? Will my investment generate me the 100,000 to be able to replace my lifestyle, or will I be having assets that cannot be easily liquidated and cannot be able to pay me at least a certain fraction of money that I need to be able to live comfortably? so that you are not trapped into this trap of being asset rich but cash flow poor. So have a balanced approach. Don't go all out on cash flow and not have any tangible asset, because again, a market burst and a market bubble could also affect your portfolio significantly. But you need at least a balance with a certain percentage in real assets, physical land, and a certain percentage of assets in cash flow generating investments. I hope that you are learning, you are growing, and you're going to share this information with especially our parents, with especially the older generation that may not have the information on the type of investments that could be able to help them in their retirement. So thank you for coming to my channel, and enjoy.